Hello and welcome to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. This is Colleen Beamish from Humor Bean Cards, and today I will be making a sweet Christmas card featuring the Night Before Christmas stamps and dies from Catherine Pooler. Now here on the screen I have the stamps and dies, and then I also have a stencil, but I don't end up using the stencil today because I will use all of the images in the stamp set to create my background. I love this stamp set. It has cute Christmas imagery, and then a lot of the stamps are a solid image, which means you can do a lot of fun techniques. Today I'm just doing basic stamping, but I imagine that once the Christmas season gets a little bit closer, I'll be trying out some different styles with these stamps. Now I'm just die cutting out literally every image in this set. So I only cut out the ones that were in the middle of other images, and otherwise I left them all connected, and I'm just cutting them out of some heavyweight white cardstock. So I'll go ahead and run that through my die cutting machine, and then I left all of the cutout images inside of the negative space and then put it into my MISTI. Now I do have a sticky mat in my MISTI, and that makes it a lot easier to keep all of the pieces in place as I do my stamping. But by die cutting out first, it's easier for me to line up the stamps with the shape, and then having the MISTI also allows me to double stamp, which I definitely do with every single image. Now this would also be a great card to mass produce because you could die cut out a bunch of these shapes and then just line them up in the same negative and just stamp and stamp and stamp over and over again. And that's also a perk of the MISTI. Now I haven't used these stamps before, so I'm prepping them with my fingertips to get off any of that like residue or roughen them up a little bit so that the ink goes on well. Especially with a solid image, you want to have kind of a rough surface for the ink to set on. Now I'm using all Pinkfresh Studio ink cubes today. I actually have 3 of the 4 packs of inks, so I just decided I'll stick to these colors, and that makes it a lot easier to choose which colors. I'm someone who really struggles with kind of putting together my own color scheme, so by using the sets of ink cubes, it's already done for you. So I will have those linked down in the description below, along with all of the other products I'm using in today's video, and I'll just note that they're all available at ScrapbookPal.com, so that's where they'll be linked to down in the description. So like I said, I'm stamping down all of the images, and I am stamping them twice. With Pinkfresh Studio ink, it definitely dries back quite a bit, so if it looks splotchy, just let it dry. It also, I would say, dries a little bit lighter in color shade than when you first stamp it down, so note that as well. I just was doing a variety of colors, so mostly they'll be, I have a pack of the greens, the kind of like aquas, and then some pinky reds. So I just did all of the, picked kind of randomly which item would be what color. So the little mouse is light pink, the stocking dark green, and yeah, so on and so forth. So I just kept stamping until all the images were stamped down. Once I finished with those first set of images, I went ahead and put the new images aligned with the shapes in the MISTI. So I did this in 2 groups, mostly just because I was using the ink cube, so I knew that I would be able to do one image at a time, but I also wanted them to be spaced out so they weren't too close together. You could do, if you were like mass producing, you could do all of the images in one color and do that like 5 different times with 5 different colors, and then mix and match the colors on your final card. So that might be a faster process, honestly, and you would get multiple cards out of it. But I'm just making one card today, so I was just doing every image in its own color. There are 2 images in this set that have 2 layers to them. So the little mistletoe, you'll stamp the leaves, and then you can stamp the berries in a different color. And then the teddy bear has a bow around its neck that would be a different color, and that's actually, it has its own die, but the stamp is just one stamp. So I lined up the bear with that bow cut out, and then I will go ahead and stamp that down. So you can do the bow in a different color from the bear. It also means that you can use the bow independent of the bear if you wanted to just have the bow on a card rather than the bear entirely. So yeah, that is all of my stamping complete. So now I'm stamping my sentiment onto a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card front. So it's just a panel of cardstock. It's not a folded card base. And I'm just stamping that sentiment in some Amalgam black ink from Gina K Designs, and that says a rosy glow and a twinkle of cheer, Christmas magic is here, which I just think is so sweet. So I'm going to start laying out all of my die cut pieces around this sentiment. But first I need to adhere the bow onto the bear. So I'm just using some liquid glue and my tweezers to glue that right on top of the bear image that I already stamped. You can definitely pop this up if you'd like, but yeah, liquid glue is my go-to for this. So now I will just start laying out the images. And there's not really a right or wrong way to be doing this. I really just was thinking about the color and kind of making sure the same colors weren't right next to each other, and just kind of thinking about the angles of things so that they weren't all going in the same direction. But yeah, just kind of moving things around until I was happy with it and filling as much of the space as I could. I know towards the end of my arranging, there's some gaps around the borders, but then I will cut off the excess and use those excess pieces to kind of fill in those gaps, so I wasn't too worried about it. But once I'm happy with the layout of everything, I'm going to get out my press and seal. If you're not familiar with press and seal, it's actually something that's used in the kitchen for like covering a dish of food. But here I'm using it for its slightly sticky properties. It's not super sticky, but there's a bit of tackiness, so you can lay it right over the card front as you have your pieces arranged and then peel it up, and all of those little pieces will come with it. So that means that I don't have to pick up each individual piece and try to adhere it down the way I had it when I spent the time already, arranging it as exactly as I wanted it. Now, you have two ways to do this now. You can either use liquid glue and put liquid glue all over the back of these items, and then just glue them down onto your card front. But I'm going to be popping everything up because I want that added dimension. So I have my giant roll of foam tape, and I'm just using my scissors to cut down pieces of foam tape into sizes that will fit on the back of all of these shapes. So once all of my shapes have foam tape on the back, I will go ahead and peel off the release paper. And then here is the real press and seal magic. So I just hold it up above my card front, make sure that I'm holding it somewhat taut, and then you can just place it right down. And since I have that sentiment, I'm just lining it up with how I want it arranged around the sentiment. And then I'll just give it a nice little push down to make sure that the foam tape is adhering, and then I can peel the press and seal right off without any issues. It comes off so easily. It's honestly amazing. So then I'm just going to cut off all the excess. I have my Spellbinders 9-inch Pro Shears here, and those are the best for cutting through foam tape. I wasn't really thinking about how a lot of the foam tape would be going off the edges for those pieces that go off the edges of the card. So there's a lot of layers to kind of cut through, but the scissors are great for this. And then also if you have, a paper trimmer like the Tim Holtz guillotine trimmer, then that would definitely take care of this as well. So like I said earlier, I'm just going to use some of these cut off pieces to fill the gaps. So I have the other half of the little present, and then I'll also put a corner of one of the sleep shirts up in the upper right corner. And that will pretty much finish off the composition of this card. So the only thing really left to do is to attach this card front onto a card base. So I'm just using some liquid glue. I did consider trimming this card front down even further to have a slight border, but I just loved how it looked exactly as it was, so I left it. And then I'm using my Score Buddy scoreboard just to use the corner of that to line up the card front with the card base absolutely perfectly. And then of course I needed to add a little bit of bling, so I'm just using some liquid glue and some iridescent gems from Pinkfresh Studio and my Pinkfresh Studio jewel picker, of course, to adhere gems kind of within all those little spaces in between the images. So that is my card for today. I think it's so cute. I love the color scheme. It feels so cheerful and happy. Christmas still feels so far away, but this felt like a very fun card to make. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel because there's always more crafty inspiration here all the time. So I hope to see you again soon. Bye!